What's up, guys? Welcome back to the CR250 build series. This is kind of the build I've been waiting for. This is kind of the flagship of my fleet, if you will. I got a few bikes kicking around, but this is the one that I really wanted to tear down and make it new again. It's 19 years old, so it really was showing its age this summer at the track. So you take a jump on it and it really feels a little bit clunky. So I'm gonna give it the full treatment. And if you want to follow this build, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notifications bell. So let's get to it. Got most of the plastic stripped off there now, so I'm gonna do the fenders next, but I just thought I'd show this right here. That's the tire's been hitting that, and I'm not sure that it's supposed to do that. So it's one of the reasons why I went out and I found a new set of forks for this thing. I got a set of forks off of a 06 450, CRF 450, because I can't adjust, I can't remember which one it is. One of the clickers is broken for the adjustment, so it's just kind of sitting in there and it's been snapped, so I could just pull it out. So I'm gonna have to maybe find a new cartridge. These are pretty beat up anyways, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. So I guess now I'll get the fenders off and decide where to go from there. Probably the bars next. Got most of the plastic and the bars off, just the guards for the forks are left on there, but I'll get them in a second. So these are gonna come out. This is the last time these will be on the bike because I'm replacing them. I got a set underneath the bench over there to replace them. The clamps are gonna be going to the powder coater. So now I'll probably get at kind of taking the rest of the throttle apart and maybe getting these out of the way. And I'll probably take, I might go the subframe first and then start taking the rest of this apart. It's coming along pretty good there now. One thing I always wonder is every bike I rebuild, these are missing, the tank strap's missing, and the connector's missing for the exhaust. I don't know why people don't replace them, but they don't. So this will be another piece I gotta order. But anyway, we'll go onto the front end now, start tearing that apart. Alright, so as you can see, I got the forks, everything out, so I got the subframe off. Now it's probably time to go through everything here that I've done so far and start bagging and tagging, which isn't a bad idea while you're doing builds like this. Alright, we got everything cleaned up here, got some room made on the bench here, because at the end of the day, that's where I'd like this engine to be. So now we're gonna move on to the triple clamp, take that off. This I believe is a 32 mil, so I'll take that off right now. Well, that definitely answers my question about whether I'm replacing these steering stem bearings or not. Yeah, definitely almost corroded right onto the steering stem there. So yeah, it'll be definitely time to replace these bearings. All right, well, crisis averted on the steering stem there. I've never had to smack on a steering stem like that to get it out of there. The bearing just had a hold of it, and it had some corrosion and rust in there, so that's what that was all about. So now I can move on, turn my attention to the rear end of the bike and start taking everything apart there. Well, that master link is not coming out of there without a, oh, I'm over here, without a fight. So I'm gonna have to probably take the whole wheel off and let the train droop down somewhere where I can cut it without having any chance of slipping with the tool and hitting the frame or anything like that. So now that I got the back wheel out there, now I can hang the chain in a sensible place where I don't have to be cutting up here around my swing arm. So that's the last thing you want to do is miss and slip and hit your swing arm. So that would suck pretty bad. So I'll hang it down around here, and then I'll just zip off one of the links and pull it out of there. Chain's getting replaced anyway. Alright, well, I got the chain cut off there now. There it is on the floor. And now I gotta finish taking the swing arm off, so I'll probably get at the brake here now. Get that rear brake off, get the suspension out, and then I should be able to take that axle out and get that swing arm right out of there. With the linkage and everything, I might take it off first. We'll see how it goes here. So I got one of these two bolts out for the master cylinder here for the rear brake. These are can be real buggers to get out. So now I'm just gonna have to drill it out and then try and get the stud out from the housing here. Alright, so I successfully drilled it out of there. So this is kind of, see if I can get it in there, what it's going to look like when it comes out. And now you're left with the stud stuck in there. So what I'll probably do is, if I can't get it started with a set of vice grips or something, I'll take my die grinder with the little cutting disc, and I'll cut a notch in it to fit a flathead screwdriver. But with that all done now I can get all this linkage off, and then I can take this out and I can get the whole rear brake assembly off. So I'll pause quick to show you something here. That is why the back brake was so sloppy. So yeah, that one's really small. The OEM one is way bigger so that it fits into the brake lever. That's why that one was so sloppy. So like myself, I wouldn't be just putting any old bolt into my brake lever. Brakes are a little bit too important to just be doing that kind of stuff. So I'll show you guys something really cool right now. That's why in every single one of these videos, they say never seize these little guys. So they'll come out like that. So next on the list is the shock. I'm gonna pull that out of there and then I'll be able to get that swing arm out. So I see a little problem in here. It might be hard to see, but they used red Loctite. Don't do that on such small bolts. Do yourself a big favor, don't red Loctite these little bolts. Blue Loctite always. So I'm getting quite a bit of resistance on this axle going through the back of the engine and through the swing frame. So what I'm probably gonna do is I'm gonna slack off the engine mounting bolts and see if I can free up the engine to pivot a little bit and see if that'll make it a little easier to hit out of there. All right, well, we got the swing frame off there. It's on the floor. So now we'll probably just work from the top down. Just take the, I'll probably drain this first, and then just take the carb out of there, and just all the wiring and stuff like that, and then work on getting the engine out of there. So all that's out now. So now I'm gonna go at the pipe and take that out, and then next after that, I'm going to take this plug out here, and that will drain the coolant out. So we almost got it all drained there now. While this is finishing up, I'll probably start taking the hoses off now. All right, I got the rads out. I'm looking at them here. The right one looks like it's in awesome shape. I just gotta comb the fins out a little bit. The left one looks a little bit smashed up, but it's nothing I can't straighten. But it will definitely be able to clean up nice and go back on the bike. So now I'll work at getting the RC valve out and probably the rest of the wiring, and then take the engine out. Okay, so we got something definitely leaking there. There's something coming out. There's a hole in the back there in the engine casing on the bottom, and there's definitely some oil coming out of there. So it's probably a good thing I'm pulling this thing apart and doing everything. Alright, so we're almost at the point where I can take the engine out here. All I gotta do is take these 3 hanger bolts out, engine hanger bolts, and then take out the 2 mount bolts, and then it should be out on the bench. right, so now we got one 250 frame. Got it all the way down to the frame, and on the bench we got the engine sitting there, so pretty good day's work. All right guys, well that's gonna be it for this video. As you can see, I got the 250 all the way down to the frame. The engine's out on the bench. So again, if you like to follow the build, make sure you subscribe and hit the notifications bell. And thanks a lot for watching.